Welcome to the listening test for IELTS Aspirants. This test will help you in preparation for the IELTS, required for various international academic courses and international relocation for jobs. Before we proceed ahead, we would like you to be apprised of the guidelines to be followed. You will hear an audio followed by questions. The questions are divided into 3 sets with different audio for each. The audio once played will not be repeated. You need a notepad and a pen to write down your answers. Please start the test only when you are ready with the same. Hope you are ready to take the test. Let us begin the test with question set 1. There are 5 questions from 1 to 5 that needs to be answered. You will hear an audio. While hearing the audio, simultaneously note down your answers. The audio is about the introduction to global dynamics surrounding the price of gold and crude oil. Now, please go through the questions from 1 to 5 before we start the audio.
Let's get started now. When we had gone on a shopping spree this festive season, most of us would have experienced one common thing. What was it? Yes, your reaction is bang on target. As compared with the last year, our shopping expenses were higher because of the rise in prices of goods and services. Let us ask you more. What happened when you went to purchase gold on one of the auspicious days? Did you purchase it? Did you decide that it was not the right time to purchase it? Many of us would have decided to postpone the purchase feeling that the prices are high. But is the gold price really high when compared historically? We should be clear by the end of this report. Now let us move on to another important commodity that is most talked about, crude oil. As you know, petrol, diesel, kerosene, and natural gas are all derived from crude oil. So, when price of crude oil rises, prices of these derivative products may also rise. Firstly, let us understand the history. Let us begin with the historical desire of Middle East crude producers to receive gold in exchange for their oil. This dates back to the 1930s, when Saudi Arabia demanded payment in gold for the oil or petroleum deposits that were discovered in Saudi Arabia. Religious factors also played a part, forbidding the use of a promise of payment, such as the USD, as a medium of exchange for the oil. Oil, gold, and commodities have all been invoiced in USD since 1975, when the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, officially agreed to sell its oil exclusively for USD. From 1944 until 1974, banks of issue were obliged to redeem their currencies in gold or in USD, which in turn were redeemable in gold at an official rate of $35 per ounce. USD could be converted into gold by central banks in order to adjust for any trade imbalances between countries. Up to that point, the price of oil was relatively stable at about $3 per barrel. Once the U.S. ceased gold convertibility in 1974, OPEC producers were forced to convert their excess USD by purchasing gold in the marketplace. This resulted in price increases for both oil and gold, until eventually oil reached $40 per barrel and gold reached $850 per ounce.
Review your answers if required. Hope you must have completed the Section 1. Now, we would start with Section 2 of the test. The Section 2 is about the factors that impact gold prices. Kindly go through the questions from 6 to 10, before we proceed ahead with the audio. Do not forget to simultaneously note down the answers, while hearing the audio.
Let us start with Section 2 of the test. Gold has been of immense value to human beings since ancient times. The economic value of gold is derived from the basic human urge to possess its rarity and beauty. And it is this natural ability of drawing human possessiveness that makes gold as a natural currency of the world. There are various factors that affect the gold prices. They are as follows. The first one is currency fluctuation. USD is considered as the de facto currency of the world. We know that gold is traded in USD across the world. Gold is also considered as the safe haven for investments, as investors procure gold with the expectation that gold can look after the value of their possessions and property. Since USD cannot be directly converted into gold, one needs to sell USD to purchase gold. Hence, whenever it is expected that USD would depreciate in value, USD is sold to purchase gold. This leads to the rise in gold prices. Thus, any rise or fall in USD affects the gold prices. The second factor is interest rates. When US interest rates fall, gold prices may increase. Lowering interest rates increases gold prices as gold becomes a better investment option vis-a-vis debt products that earn lower interest. Gold loses its shine in a rising interest rate scenario. The third factor is geopolitical concerns. Whenever there is geopolitical strife, investors around the world rush to prevent erosion of their investments, and gold as a safe haven attracts one and all. For example, after 9/11 terror strikes in the US, demand for gold had increased. With many events in the past, like tension between India-Pakistan, Israeli strikes over Gaza, the war in Iraq, the tension between US and Iran, coupled with recession had investors scrambling for precious metals. The fourth factor is supply. There are three main sources of gold that are traded in market. They are mining, recycling and central banks. Mining is a relatively stable source. World Gold Council says that opening of new mines serves mainly to replace the old ones, without increasing the global supply. Recycled gold is more or less a constant, contributing around a quarter of the total supply. Finally, gold comes from central banks such as US Federal Reserve, who are the largest net sellers. Most central banks hold some of their reserves in gold. While the average figure is around 10%, the US holds around 75% of its reserves in gold, according to the World Gold Council. The lesser the supply, greater the demand and in turn greater the increase in price.
Review your answers if required. Hope you must have completed the Section 2. Now, we would start with Section 3 of the test. The Section 3 is about the investment opportunities in gold. Kindly go through the questions from 11 to 15, before we proceed ahead with the audio. Do not forget to simultaneously note down the answers, while hearing the audio.
Let us begin the section 3 of the test. There are various investment opportunities in gold. We will discuss 3 of them. The first one is jewelry. Investment in jewelry is considered as a form of saving. A huge demand of gold is meant towards the making of jewelry because of its aesthetic appeal. This practice has been followed since years. People buy and use it during the festivals and special occasions. It is nearly as liquid as cash. It comes handy during the times of any financial crisis or when there is an urgent need of cash. The buying and selling of gold in the form of jewelry does not make it as good investment option. This is because the charges levied on it is on the higher side, hence buying gold in the form of jewelry should be limited to the extent of its consumption or use. The second investment option is coins and bars. Investment in gold can be made in bars and coins in the physical form. The charges levied are less compared to the jewelry. Gold bars and coins come in various denominations that allow acquiring in small quantity on a regular basis, best suited for small investors. Bars and coins can be purchased and sold in a jewelry shop or from an authorized bank. The third option is gold exchange traded fund. Gold ETFs are an innovative product that provides exposure to gold in demat form. It trades in the stock exchange like a single stock. The fund buys physical gold and holds it on behalf of the unit holders, and provides return as close to the physical gold. The gold exchange traded fund is becoming much popular among the investor due to its advantage, flexibility, and convenience that it has scored over other options of gold investment.
Review your answers if required. Now that we have completed all the 3 sections, it is time we reveal all the answers. Request you to mark correct and incorrect in your notepad where you have written down the answers. In case you have got less than 12 correct, kindly revisit the test once again. When you take the test again, you will realize the errors you may have come across. This will improve your score when you will take the next test. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. We will bring you more tests for your practice.